What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Boslane. That's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
I'm just admiring my lighting here, but I'm finally allowed to talk about it now. There's a game that I got a hand on, and that was Touch Type Tail. A lot of T's there, but we have just dropped the preview video for it. It's live now on our channels, and if you're curious about typing and an RTS and how they work together, well, I beg you to check it out.
That's fair, absolutely. It's got a lot going on today. It's also happy PSVR 2 day to everybody. We can now get our hands on that and experience the wealth of launch titles, as you'll note in today's games out list.
Yes.
Man, there's so many games, it's ridiculous. But do what everybody should be doing every day, Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, is joining us live over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as youtube.com/theofficial ITG. But if you can't join us live, it is up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Dude, today's show, it's finally coming. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will lead this week's State of Play. That's right, Scott, it's back. PlayStation has returned with a State of Play. Still baffles me as to why we never got a PSVR 2 State of Play, but it's here.
Yeah.
We got something, man. We're getting
Well,
somewhere.
Very short notice, too, and I don't know if that's typical.
Yeah, it tends to be. Hey, but they normally drop it on like a Monday, and then by Thursday, that's when the State of Play is.
Okay.
And yeah, it's literally tomorrow. So we'll be live 4 p.m. Eastern. Swing by, check us out, and join in the conversation. But also coming on today's show, Scott, Microsoft is swinging for the fence with another big move, and Pokémon Presents makes its return. Whew. Dude, we got a big show. You ready to go or what?
Oh, I'm ready to go, and I'm still I'm looking forward to tomorrow, actually. I think that's the highlight of me so far.
Nice. Well, let's get into it because there's lots to talk about. PlayStation State of Play airs this week, includes a new look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is Marcus Stewart over at Game Informer. PlayStation will air its first State of Play presentation for 2023 on Thursday, February 23rd. The event will spotlight PlayStation VR 2, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and more. The event begins at 4 p.m. Eastern, where you can join us live over on Twitch and YouTube. It will reveal 5 new PSVR 2 titles. Beyond that, it doesn't seem
more.
Yeah, I just when Scott, I got a backlog and a half to catch up on right now. We're trying to get sorted through for the show. It doesn't seem like we expect anything first party related though. Scott.
Okay.
So this is my question. First of all, what's your hype level behind Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and this State of Play?
I'm not very excited about DC in general. I'm not the biggest comic. It's really just Spider-Man. That's the only one that's left for me. But we're not going to see Spider-Man here. If we saw anything to do with the Punisher, then I'd be so in. But again, I'm pretty sure Punisher is Marvel.
Yep.
There was a crossover series. I know I remember it. But I'm very curious to see what's going to come out of the PlayStation VR 2 that we don't already know about.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing. It's funny because I was on, so they announced this yesterday that we're getting our State of Play finally from PlayStation, which is nice to see because it's been long overdue, right? We all kind of were hoping for something for PSVR. Instead, they're coming to the table here tomorrow with only 5 titles. I mean, you could have done a whole showcase just on PSVR 2. I wonder if, because right now I'm talking to a couple people, and they're like, man, I cannot wait. My PSVR unit is coming in tomorrow. It's coming in on Friday, this, that, and the other. And they're looking forward to playing and diving in with some of these games, man. And then, granted, there's a lot of great games, and there's some that are just kind of iffy. And then we'll be talking about those if you keep up to date with all of us over here. But it's one of those things, dude, new tech, right? Always exciting. And when you're PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, doesn't matter who you are. If you have new tech, you try to highlight that as much as possible. And we've been talking about it for a while. PlayStation has not really kind of pushed the highlight here for PSVR 2, have they?
No, not much at all. And I'm thinking of Nintendo. They do the click because the snap. They have little ways of showing off kind of their hardware and making that a focus. But And no Sony goggles.
No,
No
no.
symbol, no symbols used at all. I'm wondering, are we going to see Half-Life Alex come over at any point? But are we going to get an announcement for that tomorrow? I'm very curious.
Well, with 5 games to reveal, Half-Life Alex would be the showstopper. I think a lot of people are
I think
waiting for
so.
that one, right? They're looking for that next one. Rocksteady's game, though, dude, I have tempered expectations. Rocksteady is a fantastic developer, right? The Batman Arkham series is incredible. I was really hoping they were going to veer off into something else besides DC, but they came in here with Suicide Squad, and I've just never been a Suicide Squad fan. So we'll see how this kind of goes. Yo, I'm down for the Injustice fighting game. That one's incredible, but that's NetherRealms. That's a whole other thing. But it's one of those.
Yeah.
It's DC focused, right? When I've always been more like yourself over on Marvel. Where's Punisher? We get in Spider-Man. We're getting Wolverine. We're getting all these other games. But finally, we're getting hopefully an insight. I don't know if this is really going to pull me in, right, for Suicide Squad. I've seen every time I've seen the trailer, I go, that looks cool. I don't know. We'll see. You know, it's going to be, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Kind of a curiosity for myself.
kind of, yeah, right. I'm more there because I want to be there to kind of be a part of the conversation, but it's not one of those, man, I gotta play this game, right? And I want to see Rocksteady venture away from DC altogether. Hopefully, I don't know if the Warner Brothers will let them. I think that's the other side of it, right? Warner Brothers got the helm on them and to say, hey, we want another DC game. And granted, dude, they pump out great DC games. Like Batman's fantastic, but now we're getting into something a little bit bigger here and co-op, I believe, as well, Scott. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm hopeful, I guess, right? I want that hook. Hopefully we see that hook tomorrow night when we watch this state of play. And then getting back into the PSVR land, new titles, right? We want to see, okay, we'll be talking about like 30 titles today that are dropping, right? Besides the unit itself, there's also a plethora of games you can go play. On top of that, we also are curious, what's the future of PSVR 2, right? Where is Sony aligned with? What do we get next after we're done these 30 games? Because granted, there's 30 games. Nobody is going to play every single one, right? Like some of them just like, I don't want to play that. I'm not going to play that one. Ooh, I want to play that, and that, right? So everybody's got their shortcomings of a list of what they feel that they need to play and what they want to play, and then they'll check out. But what keeps us coming back to PSVR, right? Because it's now one cable. Fantastic to see that they've slimmed it down from this box to like there's like 4 cables at the back and then 2 at the front or 3 at the front.
I've seen photos comparing the setup and it's ridiculous.
It is, yeah. You can check out my full review over on our YouTube channel as well as insidethegame.ca. And I literally like we had this and the move controllers.
It kind of reminds me. Did you ever have those like 6-piece speaker set for your TV? Did you ever do any of that in the 2000s?
No.
And those were just a mess to set up, and that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm excited to see more, right? I want to know what else are we going to get into. There's a couple games I'm still looking forward to checking out for PSVR 2. Right now, heavily involved in Horizon Call of the Mountain. Man, it's at a stage now. I was like, okay, this game went from here with me, like mediocre, to all of a sudden, like, this is cool. Like, this is really, really cool. The beginning's still, granted, one of the best openings, I think, for a VR experience, especially in Horizon. I think this is really cool. But yeah, I'll have my full review out next week. So make sure you can check on that. But Scott, we'll see what they have to show us. And hopefully it's a good one because we need to know what the future of state of plays are going to be like if this year. I can't believe it's taken them this long. I know I say this long, dude. We're at the end of February. It's only really been 2 months of the new year. But when you have a piece of tech like the PSVR 2, I was just kind of shocked it didn't come out sooner with its own state of play.
Oh, how often is there a state of play really? Is that 4 or 6 times a year? I'm kind of trying to.
It depends on what they have to showcase, right? I think we didn't get one for God of War because I don't think God of War needed one, right?
Yeah.
So like there's certain titles that I think absolutely require one so we get a better understanding. And then there are other titles that don't need one because you just know what God of War is. So, and it's just going to sell banger numbers regardless.
Yeah, it's got the name branding on there. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of names, Scott, Microsoft signs a deal with NVIDIA to bring Xbox PC games to GeForce Now. Here we go once again. We cannot get out of this conversation, Scott.
The song that never ends.
Exactly. This is Michael over at Polygon. Microsoft and Nvidia have inked a deal to bring Xbox makers' PC games to cloud gaming service GeForce Now. The companies jointly announced Tuesday. The deal will also bring Activision Blizzard games including the Call of Duty franchise, to Nvidia's cloud gaming service should Microsoft proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard go through. In a news release outlining the 10-year deal, Microsoft and Nvidia said their agreement will let players, quote, stream Xbox PC titles from GeForce Now to PCs, Mac OS, Chromebooks, smartphones, and other devices, end quote, according to Nvidia. Scott, on top of this, Microsoft also signed a deal for 10 years with Nintendo.
Yeah, this is the next level of play anywhere.
This is really starting to take it. Yo, what's up, Nate? Thanks for joining us, buddy, over on YouTube, just like everybody else can. It's exciting to see Microsoft really start to kind of push the envelope, and then they just toss it back at PlayStation and go, yo, what else are you going to bring to the table? Because we are looking to play nice, and Sony's not, right? Sony's looking to cancel this deal as quickly as possible. And at one point, too, NVIDIA even put their back up and said, I don't know if this is going to be as good as we want. And all of a sudden now there's a 10-year deal on the table, right? And that just changes everything. So here's Microsoft trying to bring Activision Blizzard deal to a close and try to put it on as many devices. Dude, and the thing is, they never even left PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Man.
It's funny because now it's PlayStation holding up the games from going to other places, which is precisely what they're accusing Xbox of doing.
Yeah.
The whole thing's such a mess.
It has turned into one giant disaster, unfortunately, right? Now, granted, I get where PlayStation is coming from, right? Like, let's take a look at this. All of a sudden now, in 10 years, I know 10 years seems like a long time. Dude, 10 years will be here in a blink of an eye, and all of a sudden, Call of Duty is no longer on PlayStation. Do you just wait for that deal to close? Because all of a sudden now, 10 years is on in GeForce Now. It's going to be on Nintendo, whatever the next Nintendo platform is. Switch 2, Switch Pro, Switch 5 by the end of whatever we get 10 years from now. And then Xbox has the rights just to go, we're bouncing out. You can only get Call of Duty on Xbox. What are your thoughts?
It's a huge deal. Like there's a reason all these companies are so involved in it. And they've probably spent millions of dollars so far just trying to make the deal go through. So that they can, again, spend billions of dollars.
Well, okay, so that's the other side of it too, right? $800 million in the first opening week for Call of Duty. The opening week was on every platform. Do you close that off to Xbox? And Xbox is like, we don't want to do that. We want to leave it everywhere so we can make more money. Right? Like that's just doesn't whatever. So all of a sudden Game Pass now goes to GeForce Now. It goes to Nintendo. And we've been talking about it going to Nintendo for like I feel like years, haven't we?
At least it's been many years now actually. Yeah. I think that must have been 2020 right at the beginning when we were talking about that because there was that picture of a Switch with the Game Pass logo on it.
Absolutely. Now like here Microsoft Flight Sim on Switch. Did you ever think is it really? Is that now right now that is not possible whatsoever. It's got to be some cloud tech coming in here, right? And I wonder if there's a partnership forming, obviously, with Nintendo and Microsoft's, I think it's their Azure technology, which is their cloud service system, right? So if they're bringing PC cloud gaming and other cloud services over to Nintendo, maybe this is how Nintendo starts to kind of step up their game as well. Because right now, dude, their online service is horrible, right? So this could be their foot in the door without them actually having to go out and form the tech themselves. They can piggyback off of Microsoft systems.
Oh man, will we ever have the day where I can just add you as a friend? Add your Switch account to my Xbox friends list. Then we could have party chat. That would solve all of the online problems with Nintendo.
We do see a huge rise of cross-platform play, right? So all of a sudden now Xbox players are playing with PlayStation players. Dude, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that was not a thing. Like not even close. No,
Here we are today. I was one of those. Yeah. I was one of those people saying, no, it didn't happen. That's not true. That didn't happen. And then I was proven wrong to me in Rocket League. And then Fortnite. And I went, wow, okay, we are in the future.
Absolutely, right? So now that wall is breaking down. Like it's still not perfect by any stretch, but it is slowly starting to crumble, right? And we're now starting to see the cross progression come over now too. So when you buy it on one system and you buy it on the other system, you can carry over your save file and continue on. It's like, wow, okay. So all of a sudden, maybe some of my buddies jump ship and they don't want to play it on Xbox anymore. They're playing over on PlayStation. I still have the ability to kind of carry on from where I left off. That's the biggest part when you switch platforms. Going, my friends are over here. This is why I play on this platform. But now when you get into cloud streaming, dude, it doesn't matter where you play if cross play is already in there, right? And that's just opens up doors. Now you can play wherever you want. It doesn't matter. Like, right? So here's the thing. My kid right now is playing Hogwarts Legacy on my PS5. Okay. But when he's not here and he's at his mother's, he's playing it from over there.
The same game.
The same game. And he texts me, he says, Dad, can I jump on? Yep, sure. Jumps on, and all of a sudden now my PlayStation is used up by my kids. Shocker. But he's playing his game and continuing on, right? So the cloud service thing is incredible. And it's growing. Dude, I still gotta shake my head and go, Stadia, what happened?
Oh man, yeah, it really seems like a dunk already in progress. But
yeah, and it's just, but here we go again, right? Now Microsoft is just looking to play with everybody, including PlayStation, and then PlayStation is like, no, we don't want this deal to happen.
Oh,
well,
man,
you're not going to buy them yourselves, right?
It's going to blow my mind if I can load up Halo anything on a Nintendo Switch, cloud or otherwise.
Man.
It's just going to...
That'd be weird. That'd be weird.
It's super weird.
Yeah.
Not as weird as Zelda on an Xbox.
We'll see if the day ever comes around. But dude, Pokemon Presents returns next week with 20 minutes of Pokemon news. Wesley LeBlanc once again over at Game Informer. Pokemon Presents returns Monday, February 27th for 20 minutes of Pokemon news celebrating Pokemon Day on 2023. The official Pokemon Twitter account announced this just yesterday with a short 15-second video hyping up the presentation. There's not much to glean from in the video, but it does feature the main theme from Pokemon Red and Blue. Scott, any hype here for you? I'm not a Pokemon guy, so I'm out.
I want to see a follow-up in the vein of Arceus. I really liked how Arceus changed things just a little bit.
Yep.
And I would like to see more of that, but otherwise I think I'm done with the Pokemon normal releases. I was there at Yellow, and I think I quit at Sword.
Yeah, that's granted, right?
It's got to be a dozen Pokemon generations. There's 1,000 of those things now.
It just keeps going and it keeps growing, right? Pokemon, I don't think will ever end, and it just keeps hitting another generation after another generation. And some people love it, and some people. I didn't grow up in Pokemon time frame. So for me, I'm just out, right? Like, it doesn't hook me, it doesn't connect with me at all. So, and granted, part of me is like, man, I think I missed something here, right? Because I see so many people play it and how many people love and enjoy that franchise. And it's just like, I can't. I just can't. But
it was a thing of the time, late 90s.
Yeah, no, for sure. Dude, I want to get over to Activision staffers learn of December data breach months later. Jeffrey Russo of GamesIndustry.biz. Activision staffers learned of a December 2022 data breach at the gaming firm only days ago, and not from their employer. As reported by TechCrunch, the leak was made public when malware research group VX Underground, a platform that says it has the largest collection of malware source code, shared the details on Twitter. The site notes that the hackers obtained data such as employee names, work email addresses, telephone numbers, and for some, location of their offices. Quote, "This is a problem. If there is employees information involved, they should have disclosed the breach," end quote. An anonymous source told the publication. Dude, they got hacked. They deserve to know this, right? They need to make sure that their families are well taken care of, protected, and nothing else happens. And who knows what else is leaked? Yeah.
That's really sick to me that there's any sort of... This is a doxing attempt, essentially.
I don't get it. I never have. I will never understand why you would do this to people. Can't we just be nice? Doesn't seem to be a thing though sometimes, Scott. But yeah, so hopefully everybody over there at Activision is able to get that sorted, get themselves kind of caught up and protected. But dude, it's on Activision too. Like, why didn't Activision come to the table and say, hey, by the way, we've been breached? Activision is one of the biggest companies for our industry, right? So why wouldn't you make sure that your staff knows? I know there's thousands upon employees, but dude, an email goes out and then everybody knows that, hey, check your information. We had a security breach. We're trying to resolve the issue. Like, just be upfront with your employees. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, this is people's actual personal information too. It's a big enough deal that I think you could call the lawyer on standby. Find out what you're supposed to do about that.
Absolutely. Scott, let's get into Bungie wins $4.3 million in arbitration case against AIM junkies. This is Mary Delisandri over at GamesIndustry.biz. Bungie has won part of his legal fight against cheat provider AIM junkies and was awarded $4.3 million in damages and fees. Haha, dude, I kind of like this. I gotta be honest. This is nice to see that finally studios are able to fight back somewhat, right? According to the Torrent Freak, an arbitration process took place behind closed doors, with the judge Ronald Cox ultimately siding with Bungie about claims of violation of the DMCA anti-circumvention provisions, trafficking violations. Dude, there's a whole list of breaches here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got in and did some things that they shouldn't have done, and now they're paying the price. $4.3 million, Scott. Cool.
Well, that's no small amount for you and I.
Dude, that's big money. Like, they cost them a lot. Nate Jones says, yeah, screw cheaters. Absolutely. Man, I cannot stand it. That and those who team kill. But yeah, that's just a reference to last night's Siege game.
1,000 Siege games just flashed before my eyes.
Yeah. No, it's unfortunate people even do this. This is, again, right? It's one of those, okay, you're breaching data, again, on the studio. You're going in behind, ripping out their code and messing with their code so you can cheat on the, like, why not just play the game?
Yeah.
So
I don't understand, because it's not fun to me to just watch a show. I don't watch people play, and I couldn't watch myself play. I might as well just do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's just, it boggles my mind, man. Boggles my mind. That's for sure. Scott, I want to get into Bethesda announced a March release for top-down mobile shooter Mighty Doom. Take it away, Scott.
Yes, this is from Tom Ivan at VGC. Bethesda will release Mighty Doom for mobile devices in select countries on March 21st, 2023. The iOS and Android release date was announced in a new trailer. Soft launched back in 2021, the title promises top-down shooter action, run-and-gun combat, roguelike gameplay, and challenging boss. Quote, Mighty Doom is an adorably violent top-down single-touch action shooter, introducing the all-new Mini Slayer set in the animated Doomverse, according to the official trailer description. This is something I've been playing around with for a couple weeks now, actually. It's something I did want to bring forward just to bring a highlight to it. This is an interesting little game here, and I'm glad we have the gameplay to show it. It's actually pretty interesting to me. I'm not really a mobile fan, but it got me.
Yep, absolutely. And something else got me, Scott. There's like one game out today. What do we have?
Yeah, just a kind of a small one. You may have heard about it. You may not have. PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah.
You'd be forgiven for not knowing, actually, because their marketing budget was low. But we have a lot of releases here. I'm going to run down the list. Feel free to stop me if I hit one that you want to talk about. But we have After the Fall.
Dude, I gotta cut you short, actually, just like that, because our show is nearly done. I'm gonna be up front and go, hey, there are like 30 games out today for PSVR 2.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Pick away, because you got lots to play.
There's going to be one there for you.
Absolutely. And definitely go check out my review of the PSVR 2 unit itself. You can find that over on insidethegame.ca. And, of course, our YouTube channel. Scott, just like that, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. There's not been another show just like that, where you can join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on Twitch and YouTube. If you can't join us live, hit us up later. And, of course, I'm Drew. That's Scott. And we'll see you tomorrow inside the game.